friends. Welcome to the Small Initiative Network. You are watching the Fables of Gahlia, and these are my peeps. We've been away for like five years, and so that's what it feels like. This has been a stupid long week with myself and Betty working and things. So we're gonna have some fun tonight. But before we get into all of that good stuff, we'll get some announcements out of the way. Stax, what you got for me?
Hello! Straight from the halls of Valhalla comes our first sponsor of the night, Norse Foundry. They create artisan dice and gaming accessories for all your D&D needs, crafted from the finest metals and gemstones by the dwarves themselves. With Norse Foundry, even your nat 1s will be beautiful, but hopefully you don't roll any of those. Check out the link below, or just head to norsefoundry.com and use the code SWOLE, SWOLE, to get 10% off today. Do it.
Awesome. Bats.
Hey guys! Also, you can check out our friends over at Nine Realms Gaming. They hand make all of their products from natural woods to create quality and affordable gaming accessories for all. You can use the code SWOLE10 to get 10% off of your purchase at ninerealmsgaming.com on things like this beautiful tower and tray. Rolled 15. That's pretty good. And then also you can get custom things like Jay's DM screen. I haven't played D&D in a while, and the words are escaping me.
What's the screen again?
What is the thing called? But yes, Nine Realms Gaming, all the realms here on Midgard. Griffin Co. is also one of our sponsors, and a special thank you to them. Everything that you see that's 3D printed, and let me tell you, they've sent some pretty cool stuff recently. You guys are in for some really cool stuff here in the near future with our channel. But like, no spoilers. You can use the code SWOLE22 to get 22% off of your purchase at Griffin Co. I don't have the website, but I'm sure there's a link for it in the chat. Thanks, Griffin Co.
Yes, thank you very much. I have some pretty damn cool things to show you guys.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, Diana's seen. Ashley.
Oh yeah! All right. Roll for initiative before jumping into the mosh pit with dice and devil horns. Visit diceanddevilhorns.com for heavy metal tabletop gaming merch, mugs, and more. It's all super cute. Use code SWOLE at checkout for 10% off your order, and be sure to follow on Instagram for their sweet, sweet memes. That's dice, the letter N, devilhorns.com, and rock before you roll.
All right.
I like it.
I aspire to announce at Monster Truck Rallies.
As always, we appreciate any and all support that you give through subs, gifted subs, prime subs, hashtag make Bezos pay for it. And even more than that, just the support of being here and watching with us. One thing that you can do that does help us out a lot, that does not cost anything, is just moving that cursor over to the follow button and just giving us a boop of love on that. That helps us out as a new channel. So, yes. Do we have anything else? I don't think so. I guess it's time for tonight's chapter of the Fables of Gahlia. When?
Right now. Sorry. I was really engrossed in what was being said.
Your face said otherwise.
I was listening.
Is that
Hi,
your
everyone.
listening face?
Hey everyone, we know you're there. We're just talking to each other and not you.
Yes. So, this is a good start, guys.
Yep.
So, last time, you guys had a lot. So you guys have made back to that guy whose name I can't remember. It's in my notes. Valen. You'd made it back to Valen and Dirk's place to kind of lick your wounds and help your friends out of their post-fever nakedness. And moving hastily on from that, decided to hit the road once more. And with the newly acquired password in order to cross the bridge into Ulfgate, you successfully did so. And you met a halfling on the road, injured grievously. You were able to heal him, to which he was thankful for. He gave over a lantern to you guys as sort of payback for it, and told you many things about Vargrden and where you were heading. Not being a religious type, he's somewhat pessimistic about the wolf-based religion that sort of surrounds the city of Vargrden and ultimately the larger area of Ulfgate. Eventually, you managed to make your way into the city and to the Chubby Pigeon to meet with Hisric, Shortstaff, the gnome bartender, who was shooting drinks out across the bar. Some of you caught, some of you didn't. And you were asking a lot of questions about the use of magic in Vargrden, which is strictly prohibited unless of the divine nature. So, as you've all collected your drinks and sat down in the tavern together, the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Isn't it nighttime?
It's like afternoon, like mid-afternoon by the time you guys had gotten there.
All right, so we're gonna go through another show of me not having any spells. It's show number 2.
Okay, they don't like magic here anyway.
Well, I'm the one with divination magic though. Okay. Maybe we should explore a little bit. But maybe not too far. I don't know, this place is different.
I don't think they'll let you go that far.
Oh,
Certainly not to the temple, it sounds like.
well, that would be the one place that I'd like to go.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can find some kind of favor with this high priestess Freya, so you can get access, but... Personally, I'm a bit nervous about this magic ban. I'm quite worried about slipping up somehow.
Yeah, it is kind of second nature.
I can't imagine a society where those abilities are frowned upon. I mean, it's just as natural as breathing for some people.
Do we know the reason why the magics have been banned?
Well, I mean, it does spark a little bit of hatred when it was the arcane that nearly did away with the matriarch of the entire religion.
Oh. That's a little knee-jerk reaction, though, I think. Ban an entire type of magic because one person used it poorly.
Look, I don't disagree with you. It feels like a little bit of a overstep, overreaction,
I agree.
especially when we're 200 years from when it happened.
It's been so long. Perhaps it's just a means to maintain control.
Maybe, but you're safe in here.
Thank you, by the way, for prestidigitizing my red wine stain. I'd hate to encounter new folks in a new city looking such a mess.
Well, no problem at all.
Are there rooms available to stay here?
Oh yes, yes. If you see Hezric, he'll be able to set up some rooms for you.
Well, it does seem like a safe location for everyone in our party.
Close enough.
All right.
You'll be fine.
How easy is it to, or how difficult is it to buy our way to the next level?
Ooh. Straight to the point. Well, I suppose you'd have to find yourself a guard that valued his pockets more than his religion.
I think we find that that's probably not going to be very hard to do.
Oh, I don't know about that. A lot of the people that make it into the guard is because they're so die hard with their religion.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Literally, for the most part.
What's your meaning?
That they will die hard for their religion.
Oh, like quite literal. Okay, right. Well, fantastical stories can make zealots of us all, I suppose.
Indeed. See, I like this one.
You mentioned something about introducing us to a friend of yours who might have some work here in town.
I mean, there's work if you look hard enough. There'll be work.
I see. Well, I was quite interested in perhaps some of the wares he might have for sale. Though, perhaps, if they are of a magical nature, it's best not to rock the boat so early.
You're talking about Midas.
Right.
I
Indeed.
think we're okay in this part of town, right?
You're okay within these walls.
Within these walls.
There are the occasional guard that make their way through here, and we did see the watchtowers.
Yes.
Less mind is paid to this area, but
Do
the
you-
wolf still watches over all and all that.
And also with you. Sorry, it's habit.
How did you... No, you said something about the wolf amulet that you wear?
Yes,
And that's what gives you access to places?
indeed.
Is there a way to find one of those?
Procure.
Procure.
procure one of those.
Or borrow.
Yes, borrow. I'm familiar with that term. Well, again, you could find another guard who would have one because they travel through the city freely. If you were able to obtain one, and yet keep it under wraps that you have it, so the word doesn't spread that all of a sudden there's medallions gone missing.
Ah.
I don't think we'd be able to obtain 6.
You never know. Where there's a will, there's a way, and you seem fairly strong of will, to put it nicely.
Would your friend Midas be able to, I don't know, conjure up something that looks like one?
Like, make magically.
Yeah, or disguise another necklace to look like one?
That is an interesting proposition. He does work with illusion magic, but let me keep that in the back of my mind. Maybe we could work something out along the way where I can sponsor a few of them for you.
Much appreciated.
Maybe if some business was needed closer into the center.
Why are you offering to help us?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm offering to help you so much as use your talents.
That's more understanding.
And also your anonymity in this town.
You only have that until you don't.
Indeed. Like most things.
I think that's our new group name, The Used. Because everybody uses us.
Like it. Maybe we can make music too.
Gonna say, wasn't that an emo band back in the day?
For sure it was.
Absolutely.
So what's your plans now that you've breached the walls of the great Vargrden?
I'm still quite in need of a courier. This letter to send off. It's of some importance.
Oh, yes. Well, Midas will be able to help with that for a slight fee, I imagine.
Of course. But perhaps that's where we start then. Lest anyone has some sightseeing they'd like to do.
Is it best to do exploring during the daytime around here?
I mean, if you need to see things easier, probably.
I just was wondering about.
Depends what kind of sightseeing. Are you being sly about it? Slight seeing, maybe?
That's good.
Heard of this attraction called Underbelly. I'd like to see.
Adeline, you can write that one down, love.
I am.
I was more just wondering about the safety of our group walking around at night.
Ah, you'll be fine. Probably.
Right. So maybe until the sun goes down, we do a little exploring and then start fresh in the morning?
I mean, you're as safe as the giant walls will keep you. with all the watchtowers and wolf-obsessed guards.
Yes, it's what's inside the walls that I think worries me more than what's outside.
Which is exactly what I was getting at.
Yes. Perhaps it is more inconspicuous for us to mill about during the day, just as any normal person, because we're all so normal. We're just like we're the most.
Tourists.
I mean,
Absolutely.
especially in this area, you guys blend right in.
I'm a
Do we
normal
actually?
human girl.
She is for
W-
sure. Yes.
Was that said with much sarcasm?
Oh, yes. Much sarcasm.
I was more so asking the DM if I needed to roll insight, but thank you for answering.
You're welcome. Who's DM?
Yeah, right? We don't break character here.
Yeah.
Very professional.
That is not true.
We are professional D&D players.
Yep.
Sorry.
We'll roll dice for tips.
All right. Well,
Are we going on a tour of the underbelly?
are we currently in the underbelly? I'm not exactly sure where that is. Is there an underground?
Oh God, I hope not.
Like a literal one?
Or is this what where we are? Is that referred to as the underbelly?
No, this would be the first circle.
The first circle. Okay.
My compatriots quite like crawling around under the ground. I can't really speak to that much myself, but
Adeline, I don't believe all of us agreed to that.
all right, fair enough.
It's more so it just happens. Then we actually like it.
The green one is the king of the sewers somewhere, which is
Somewhere.
wild, don't you think? It's wild.
The lizard man that hatches from eggs.
Yes, he definitely hatches from eggs.
I mean, it just makes sense.
It makes so much more sense than a live lizard birth. I agree. That's just biology. But
Can you imagine seeing a dragon man being? I'll leave that where it is, but
you said too much. I'm imagining it now, and I wish I wasn't.
well, what has been seen cannot be unseen.
Isn't that the truth?
You've all seen Lostroth naked. Suffer.
Yes. Yes, we have.
I haven't, and I'd like it to stay that way.
I thought I was trying to forget about it.
Me too. Me too.
You're a strange lot, but I like you. I think it's because you're so odd.
It is part of our charm.
Thank you.
I'm pretty normal. I don't know why you're calling me strange.
Aye, you keep saying that.
Because it's true. I'm like looking at Rose expectingly.
Very, very normal.
And he leans over to Adeline and says, "Does she always need reassuring that she's normal?"
I feel like it's best just to kind of nod and break eye contact because it can be a little intense sometimes.
I've
she-
noticed.
Yeah, she means well though.
Noted. Thank you. So, all of you normal people, are we headed out already? We're going to. You want to go see Midas?
Sure.
Yeah, where's Kaya?
He went off for a little bit. He didn't say where.
He's probably telling someone about this restaurant in Elderwich.
God. Oh, right, we talked about that. You know him, Arik. Well,
Oh, that's right. You know him.
Oh, you mean the great Eric?
yes.
Yes.
We knew him before he became Eric.
Oh, yes, it's a whole thing.
Should we wait for Kaya before we go?
Isn't that him at the bar? Looks like he's got his Rick, or at least his ear.
Hmm.
My neck turns and cracks a little bit. I think so. Yes.
Like 160 degrees.
Yes.
Perfectly normal.
Yes. I suppose someone should go and rescue his Rick.
Right. I'll be right back. And Roz will get up and go to the bar.
To where you see your large draconian friend bending the ear of Hisric, who has kind of gotten through his mass drink expulsion from the round being bought by Herb, and you can see he's entertaining, but he's mostly just looking at the glass in his hand and wiping the same spot over and over as he nods, looking at the floor.
You know, and that's what it's like growing up on a farm. You just eventually get used to the smell, and then pretty much nothing really smells bad anymore. And you know, it's all relative, because you know, it smells one way going in the animal, and it smells another way coming out of the animal. And and each animal has their own distinct, like, when cows poop, it has a smell. When horses poop, it doesn't really smell. Actually, it smells almost like have you ever smelled fresh alfalfa?
I'll walk up to Hezrick and I'll wave over to him and I'll whisper in his ear, for 2 drinks, I'll make him stop.
Coming up.
Hey, Lost, how you been, brother?
Kaya, what did we talk about? About conversations related to singed nose hairs?
Well, my nose hairs don't get singed.
The average sort.
You mean people don't really want to hear about that?
Not normally, especially where food's served, I find.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. Animal poop fertilizes crops. Crops grow, and they become food either for us or for other animals. And so it's all it's almost like circle of life, only it's the circle of plant life.
Yes, except normally people just rely on the latter half and don't really pay attention to the early production portion. Otherwise, it would leave a sour taste in your mouth.
Well, I believe we should all understand where our food comes from.
I think we understand. We just choose to ignore. There's a difference.
All right. You say so. I mean, I'll trust your judgment on this one.
But we are, everyone included, due to travel around the city a bit. Would you like to join?
Yeah, that sounds good. I couldn't help, even during my conversations here with Hisric, I couldn't help but overhear, Miss Adeline, and our other friend here making fun of me, saying that I was born from an egg. I was born alive, just like she was. I'm not going around telling people she was born in an egg.
I mean, you could.
I tip Hezric 5 silver pieces for enduring Kaya and for his unfortunate surname.
So, mid conversation, as you put the 5 silver in the middle of the table, You get from the other end of the bar 2 shots like slid out across the bar, and they're firing both sides of the silver pile that you've made. So I need you to make 2 dexterity checks, one for left and one for right hand.
18. Yeah.
Okay.
And 12.
Okay. So the first one you catch and you're like, haha, easy. And the second one, it's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Like pops up in the air a couple of times, but you just about managed to catch most of the drink in there.
Got it. And I just kind of give a muffled curse and I'm like, God damn it, short wanker.
And he leans over the bar and says, please make it stop.
And I'll just walk over and I'll just kind of wrap my arm around Kaya's shoulder and just guide him with my 20 strength away from the bar.
All right.
Easily done.
Let's go exploring anyway. I'm ready. Did y'all find out the good sights to see?
Not quite.
I think we just want to get a lay of the land, and Adeline needs to send a letter.
Yes.
All right.
But it seems his friend Midas can help with that.
That's right. That's what he was saying on our way into town.
Midas is, he's brilliant. But with that brilliance comes a slight oddity. He's an acquired taste.
You know, that's what people
Sounds
say
like-
about me sometimes.
Sounds like the perfect type of person for us. Yes.
Is he going to join our army of, what is it called?
Fate.
Army of
Fate.
Fate.
Yep. Maybe he can join.
Is that what you're calling yourselves these days?
Well, you're in it too, remember?
No. I paid my way. Thank you.
You said you would join. You
Yes.
agreed.
But now I'm here, and so
But
I
you've
don't
already
have to.
made the agreement. You
Yes.
can't go back on fate.
Well, you can when you lie a lot, like I do.
You know, fate has a way of dealing with people like that.
Fate does not
Yes, I'm
care.
sure, just like Fenris.
Just staring at him.
I've managed to sidestep the wolf all of these years. I'm sure I'll be fine.
I don't think you pledged yourself to the wolf, though, did you?
Nope.
You pledged yourself to fate.
Nope.
Fate never forgets.
See, this is why I feel like we should have like onboarding documents so that it's more clear when a contract is struck. It seems a bit, like did he not?
But he did. We all witnessed him agree.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I think I remember him. I think there was the condition of the healing. It was, we'll heal you, but you join the army of fate. He said yes.
You know, I could take that heal back.
Is that a threat?
No.
It might be a threat.
Ooh,
Lily.
is this we're threatening our only ally in this new city?
Let's go find Midas.
Lily, it was your fate to use the power of Eastus to heal, and it worked. Let Eastus take control of what his fate will be.
Just saying he agreed.
That's fine. Then he'll find his path, and his fate will be revealed to all of us.
Sometimes people say things that they
Well,
don't mean.
He may be a little dishonest, and that's okay. Sometimes
It's not okay.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's the way you have to be to survive. That's not the way we are. But if he feels like that's what's necessary for him to survive in this city and in his little world, then that's okay. But you know, let's just let him be him, and we'll just don't lie to us anymore, okay, sir? We want to be able to trust you.
Look, it's not personal. At all. I just wanted to ride home and I didn't want an argument about what army I'm fighting in.
You don't have to fight. There's really no obligation. It's just you're in the army. It's kind of a privilege to be able to say it.
Fine. I'm a soldier in the army of fate.
See,
I am a witness. I heard that.
it's not even.
And it is my sworn duty to go about life exactly as I did before swearing.
That's fine.
Because that's your fate.
Oh, for the love of...
All right, let's go find Midas.
Yes, let's find our way out of this conversation.
Adeline is gonna like sidle up to Roz and be like, "Are you all a cult? I didn't ask that before, but it's really starting to feel like maybe."
Yeah, if you have to ask days later if you're in a cult, you might want to sort out your priorities. But no, we are not a cult, no.
I mean, I feel like that's usually how it happens. They like lure you in with like, you know, hours of meditation or, you know, enlightenment or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're wearing all white and you're barefoot in a field.
I feel like our experiences are slightly different from one to the other, but I can understand. I mean, we are not a cult, and I feel that if we were a cult, that would be the first thing we would say. But I assure you, my dear, we are not.
Right.
Besides, the colors of Eastus are black, white, and gray, so she would never want you to be completely in white. Shall we? Off to Midas, right?
I am not in a cult. I'm in a
That is not
oppressive, mutually binded contract with these two.
Yes, of course, Lost. You're not in a cult, you're in debt.
I'm in debt.
That's how they get you. Adeline's just like spinning out a little bit now. Oh, God.
Everything's a conspiracy.
So, Mr. Herb, and I will just start walking with him towards the door. So if everything is illegal in regards to arcane magic,
Oh.
yes. How does this Midas have? Is it like a shop? Is it secret lair? I don't. How is this allowed?
Shop would be very kind. It's more of a house of wares.
So it's under the guise of something else.
To an extent, yes.
All right.
It's a magical speakeasy.
Yes, minus the alcohol. We don't get him drunk.
Okay.
Lost, do not take that as a challenge.
Should I be worried?
Yes.
Good. All right, let's go.
Oh.
Tequila makes lost clothes come off.
And as he starts to lead you out of the Chubby Pigeon back onto the street, he says, "All right, I say it. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh God.
I could.
How's that
pull-
for fate?"
That's a little too much tempting fate.
I don't know. The way I see it, fate happens whether you want it to or not.
And Lost winks at Adeline.
Ugh.
Darling, we really do need to talk about this.
Are you two a thing?
No.
No. No.
Awkward.
So, Adeline, when you do write the letter, you should leave some details out. I don't need more people from the Institute coming to kill me.
Oh, yes. Well, I have it here, and it's purposely vague in parts. There's actually quite a big section that I struck through. Yes. I don't think it will get anyone in trouble, except for perhaps myself.
You may want to start the whole letter again and just not include the redacted parts.
Right. Oh, right. Oh, God. And she, like, pulls out her thing and starts writing, like, as they're walking.
Cool. So, taking you out into the street, you guys wander along the cobblestone roads. There are pathways on either side. The occasional cart rides by, horse-drawn cart, just with various bits of food, like vegetables and things, just taking them about from place to place. Looking around, you see, well, obviously the large log walls on either side of you, sort of behind the buildings on one side, and then straight ahead on the other, for the outer circle, the first circle. As you're walking along, you see all manner of people in this area. But what you do notice is that most of the sort of bestial races, there are orcs walking around, and some that remind you of your draconic friend, but look a lot more feral. Less dragon-like, more lizard-like. And as they're sort of wandering around, they have these brown, almost like monks' robes on. And as your eye catches them, they're wandering off into the distance, and they stop at what looks like a small church, almost, and walk through the gates and head up into it, and then start tending the grounds outside. So there are small gardens. It looks like they're growing their own vegetables and things, and they start to tend the gardens outside the church.
Herbert, are these religious folk here?
Oh yes. These are converts. You see, anyone who tries to attack or harm any place within the Wolf's Eye, Ulfgate, some are spared, but only if they swear fealty, where they live out the rest of their lives in monasteries, all of their possessions taken from them.
Dude, I'm gonna take a quick glance at those monks. Do they look happy? Content? Or the general feel, actually, the general feel of the whole place as we were walking down the street.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
So make an insight check.
Can I make one too, since I asked the question?
Sure.
Hey, I got a crit. Yeah. 22.
Also, Eric, thank you so much for the gifted subs. You're awesome, man. Thank you for coming by.
I also got a 22.
Oh. Yeah, so most of the people in people in the streets, most of the people in the streets seem mostly sort of content with their lives. There are some that are unhappier than others. There are some that are happier than others. It's kind of a mixed bag, kind of like you would expect in any kind of city or place where a lot of people lived. The monks in particular, not so much. With a 22 as well, for that was both of you, right? Yeah, so I would say with a 22, you guys would get the feeling that they were given the choice of this or death, and so they live out their lives the only way that was possible.
So less all-inclusive church, more prison.
Well, they can come and go as they please. In and around.
And if they wanted to leave Vargrden?
Well, that would be abandoning the faith.
Now, Herb, does their service to the monastery extend further into the circles?
There are monasteries throughout because they're used for different tasks, such as growing food out here, which will be sold at a cheap price to most of the common folk in the first circle. You get more of your trained artisan folk in the second and third.
But can these monks travel between the circles? These particular ones right here in the outer circle. Do they have wolf totems?
Well, I don't see why not. I don't know if they carry the same medallions. They probably have something to do with some kind of wolf, or I don't know. I've never really asked them, to be honest. I kind of steer clear. I'm not really one to get into religious banter, although it seems to keep finding me recently.
Are we near a passage into the next section, or that's like further?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
As this conversation is going, you haven't hit it just yet. But you can start to see, as you kind of crest around the circle as the conversation goes on, there is a gate that appears. You can kind of see on a slant, like forced perspective kind of thing. You can see that there's a gate. There's a break in the solid wall.
Do we observe any of these monks passing through?
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, now 7.
You know, there's something weird about that lizard guy, and you can't quite take your eye off of him.
You'd quit worrying about if he was born from an egg or not. You
Yeah,
might do
Adeline's
the
head is
check
just
better.
I did Google it. Some lizards do have live births, okay? So I'll concede that point.
Dragons.
But it depends on what dragonborn and what dragonborn, like depending on like the lore on dragonborns, on whether or not they're born from eggs.
I see. I just Googled real life lizards. But ones in tropical climates are born live. Isn't that interesting? The
Yes.
more to know. This is now an egg.
The more you
This
know.
is just an egg podcast now,
Yeah.
just disguised as D&D.
Welcome to Egg Talk, everybody.
Yoke's on you, folks.
What is happening?
Can
Don't
always
open
count
the
on
gates
Jay
to
for the
egg
dad
puns.
jokes. What's his name? Herbert?
Herb.
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 You know,
I mean, you can try calling him Bert and see if he responds.
if you would have just looked it up in the encyclopedia, you would have learned all about eggs.
Oh. Oh.
That was excellent.
I'm going to
Cracked such a good joke.
look at her and ask him a question not about eggs. I'm trying to get us away from the egg shock, and you guys just keep going.
I don't know. My brain's kind of scrambled right now.
Oh my god. What's happening?
Herb,
You guys just take it over easy.
Herb,
Yes, Normal, go.
thank you. Where do you bury your dead?
I'm sorry.
Like a graveyard.
Cemetery, graveyard. Graveyards are connected to churches, though. That would be actually most helpful.
The dead are taken. Well,
They're taken.
yes, outside of the walls, into the forest,
Why?
and left.
Not buried.
No, how would the wolves eat them?
Ooh, what a way to go.
Well, they've already gone at that point. It's just,
Oh, right.
it's just the meat sack.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
All comes from and goes back to the great wolf.
This place is odd.
I see a possible way of traversing the walls with these monks.
Yes?
I'm really not sure that. Well, surely you saw, this is a prison for them. I don't think that they're just gonna let someone that they imprison on the first circle traverse all the way through.
Well, I mean, not all the way through, but one gate, two gate, maybe to the nearest monastery within the circles.
I mean, we could always just go to the gate and talk to the guards and...
Wait. Why do we want to get to the middle circles anyways? Are we just resting here?
We want to go to the temple.
I would like to visit the temple.
I mean, if you really wanted to get to the temple, you'd probably still need a medallion, but you could probably plead your case as religious travelers.
Well, that is what I am.
Can't you just bring a big tithe?
Again, we could talk to... Although, maybe we save this for tomorrow and we just deal with Midas today.
Let's do it, Midas.
Yes.
I'm very much tapped out for even divination magic today. So if there's a need for me to prove anything, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Okay.
So, with our original plan, why don't we just visit this Midas character and see what that's all about?
And as this conversation kind of comes to a head, Herb just stops in his tracks. And so you all kind of stop abruptly.
Are we there?
Behold! And he gestures towards a building that is covered with boards across the door, and the windows are just covered in like must from the inside, and there's bars on the outside of the windows kind of blocking view. It looks completely abandoned and left to rot.
Is this a haunted house?
No.
Well,
The good shit comes from places like this. Always.
you could say that, normal girl.
I like haunted places.
As soon as he says that, I do still have eyes of the grave. I would look.
Okay, for undead. Your golden kind of sonar emits out the power of Eastus, and you get nothing in return.
All right.
All right, Lost will go and open the door.
So the door actually has boards all over it, like nailed into the frame, keeping it shut.
Yeah, I turned back to Herb and I looked at him and I said, "This is Midas's place?"
Is there a back door?
No, there's a front door. Go ahead and open it.
Okay.
And so, Lost, as you reach towards what would be where the door handle is, and there is a board across it, your hand passes through the board, and you feel the door handle on the other side.
I open it, and looking real cool, I walk right through the door as if I knew all along.
So you guys watch as Lost opens the door, and the door opens inwards, and he walks through the boards. They just dissipate around him and then reform as he walks past into complete darkness on the other side.
Well, I'm gonna assume that's a safe way to get in here, and I'll just follow.
Same.
Okay. So what you notice is, as you kind of file in through the door, as you guys walk through the boards, one after the other, you disappear in the darkness. It doesn't matter if you have dark vision or anything, you disappear. And as the rest of the party follows in to this complete blackness, that's where we're going to take a little break, and we will pick up in Midas's place. After a little 10-minute schmoozle, I don't know what to call it, a break. We're gonna do break.
A short
things.
rest.
Yes, a short rest, but not actually a short rest.
Because that's an hour. And we don't get anything back as players.
No.
I think it was called the cat nap.
All right.
Bye. We see you in a minute.
Right. welcome back. We had our little schmoozle when we're back. I don't know. I
Where
was
did
trying
that
to come
word
up with a
come
word,
from?
and that is what came out.
I like it.
Improv skills.
We're schmoozling now.
No, that was before.
Oh,
That was
I
great.
mean, that's what we'll be using going forward.
That's what we did during the break.
Your
Right,
post.
I get it. Yes.
Where I'm from, they just call it dropping bricks.
So, as you guys wandered through the illusionary boards on the outside of the door and seemingly slipped into complete blackness, walking through, lost, you first, followed by another party member and another party member.
I'm last.
3, 4 steps in, you emerge on the other side of this darkness to take in a largely disheveled, you can't even call it a store. It's not really a shop. There are books and bits of paper kind of everywhere across tables and desks, and the dust is thick in areas, and there is actually clotheslines drawn across the room where you have to kind of push through this dripping wet clothes that have been left, and every so often you'll see that there's a couple of pages that have gotten wet that are hung up next to the clothes with the ink all smeared down them. And you approach what seems to be a few bookcases which are sparsely populated at best, with like a large bureau desk at the front, and there is a between the two bookcases there is an open doorway that leads into the back of the store.
Alrighty.
Music was a little intense for that moment.
This is like a magical pick and pull.
And so you guys watch as Herb emerges through the darkness. Yes, you see, we have measures in place to stay hidden.
So you mean to tell me that all these anti-arcane laws and stuff, and none of the guards and whatnot have come by and noticed anybody just walking through a wall without? That just seems a little risky.
He did say that the guards don't come around here very often.
That's true.
And the best place to hide is in plain sight.
Smartest thing you've said all day.
Like to object with that? I say smart things all the time.
Hearsay.
Is the general damp, is that like part of the defense as well, or is that just kind of...
No, that's just Midas.
Okay.
Do we see Midas yet?
Make a perception check.
Sure.
Hello?
That's
I
gonna
think I see a
be
magical pair of drawers drying on the rack, though.
24.
Hello?
24.
24.
With that, you notice to the left of the left-hand side bookcase, so further over, is a coat rack, a coat stand that many almost trench coats are hung from. And with a 24, your eyes kind of glance across and notice this one eye peering out from between the cloaks.
I'm gonna smile and stare at the eye and say, "Are you Midas?"
And it slowly closes. And Herb walks in and says, "Midas, it's fine, they're with me." And with that, emerging from between two coats, as he thrusts them open and they billow out to the sides, you see this grotty looking man who seems to be in his 30s. He's got like grease-ridden black hair that's kind of matted to one side, almost like he spat in his hand and just shoved it into the side parting that it's in right now, and his face is covered in long stubble whiskers. He has a slight hunch to his back, which you would assume from all of the books that are scattered around is just from years of delving into the arcane in a bad posture. And he says, "Welcome to the Midas touch." And as he smiles with his big toothy smile, you notice that the entire top row of his teeth shine gold.
Well, thank you so much for having us. Lovely place.
It's a little
Yes,
damp.
thank you so much. I do try to tidy up a bit in case I get guests.
Yes. Well, your effort does not go unappreciated.
You are most welcome. So, friends of Herb, what can I do for you?
He needs a letter sent.
Yes, I do have a letter that I need sent to, the Institute of the Arcane. Your friend here says
Oh!
yes. Hints, perhaps keep it hush-hush, but, it's a personal letter, but of great importance. I need it to arrive safely.
Safe travel letter. Personal institute.
Yes, those are some of the words that I said.
Wait. And he starts rustling through drawers and slamming cupboards and things underneath this bureau desk that he has walked behind to address everyone. And he starts pulling things out, and he finally pulls out one piece of paper and slams it down on the desk and slides it over to you.
I have written it here. Should I transcribe it? What is this?
It is paper to write a letter.
Yes, as I said, I have it here.
But it's better on here.
Is it enchanted paper?
You're not just looks, are you? You've got some brains to you.
I mean, I was just guessing.
Oh, well, then you are lucky.
Rose is really smart. That's twice in 5 minutes someone's told her that.
Well, this is brilliant then. So this will go to the intended.
Yes, and no one else.
Fantastic. What will this cost me to send?
And he drums his fingers across his whiskers, and you hear the sound of his fingers scratching against the sharp tips of his whiskered chin. Well, let's see. For one,
You like shiny things?
what gave me away?
Well, I have something special that you might like that's shiny.
Oh my god, he's gonna pick his scat thing.
And I'm gonna you'll see my tail come around, and I'll like from the back of the tail I'll just pop a little scale off and flick it over to him.
Do you do that often?
No,
Yes, he does.
no. Well, I mean I can't because
It's like
Then I wouldn't
twice
have
a
it.
day.
Well, you can't do it that often because then you wouldn't have any skin.
right. It grows back pretty fast though.
Well, that's lucky. Especially if you kept picking it off.
People call me strange, but I don't give my skin away.
Why do they call you strange?
They
Isn't
don't.
she
I'm
so-
very normal.
Exactly. She's so normal.
Oh, I must have misheard you. Sorry.
Just stare back at him.
He seems completely unfazed.
I mean, Lily doesn't care. She's just staring.
For a friend of Herb, call it 10 gold pieces.
10 gold pieces for a letter.
A magic letter?
I mean, you could try just sending it by horse and cart. See how far that gets.
I'll
If
pay
you
for
wanted to
it.
go directly.
What if you say what you need to say in half the amount of words? Is it cheaper?
Well, it depends. Is your message more than one piece of paper?
No, no.
Well, then it's 10 gold pieces.
Great.
I'll pay for it, Adeline.
Oh, Rose, you don't need to do that. I don't need money or anything. I'm not suddenly stricken very poor for the first. I don't have very much money right now.
It's fine.
But I will get more once this letter goes. That's kind of the right. That's very generous of you. I will repay you.
It's fine. And I'll hand him 10 gold.
And Adeline will take out a very extravagant blue quill and her ink well and start writing her letter out on the new piece of paper.
As she's doing this, Lostaroth is just shaking his head. He says, "You just signed a deal with the devil. Do not owe them anything." Oh my god. He's just...
So as you put the pile of gold pieces on the desk, he opens one drawer and goes eye level with it and just scoops one by one into the drawer and watches it intently with his eyes as he closes the drawer. Was there anything else?
Actually, while Adeline writes her letter, I wanted to ask you a question. Has anyone ever asked you to create the wolf necklace medallion before? Or if we all had a necklace, could you create an illusion that it looked like the medallion?
Oh, now the latter is a possibility. I mean, you couldn't get anyone to touch it, or else they'd probably know that it's not, real.
Hmm.
I could do something similar to the boards outside. That doesn't take long. Especially on, like, a little one.
How big are are they like coin sized? Or are they like,
The medallions are, like, sort
oh,
of...
they
a
big?
Yeah, they're large.
Flavor. Okay. Okay.
I suppose you could go to the Blackened Iron and get something kind of knocked up that looks similar.
That sounds like a good idea.
in size and shape. And then I can finesse a little bit on top.
Can we trust this blackened iron to not, like, if I go and say, hey, can you make me a necklace that is about the size and shape of a wolf medallion, and then they make it, could we trust this person to maybe not share that information to anyone else?
I probably just wouldn't ask for it to be like a wolf.
Oh.
But we wanted to make sure it's the right size and okay.
Well, if you're going to make it the exact size and shape, then what do you need me for?
Well, not the shape, but just I want it to be as close to the right size so that if somebody does pick it up or touch it, then maybe it's not as telling.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want it to be like this long and this high, and then you want me to make it look like a wolf.
Got it. So if we all got just circles on a chain, you could make that look like a wolf?
I reckon so.
Like you're going to the annual wolf festival and you'd like to dress up and cosplay as a wolf guard.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Okay.
very specific example, but a very good one.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm confused. Why do we need these?
If we ever want to leave this circle and go to the next circle, we have to have them.
Right, that's what he was saying.
So, Midas, have you ever had to do that before? Do people ask for this kind of trickery?
Not generally, no. It's kind of risky.
Right.
What is there to be found in the inner circles? Have you been there yourself?
Me? I kind of stand out around there, but there's nicer areas and more high-ranking officials and businesses, and I just tend to stick around the outside and do work with the Night Thorn.
Right. So is our intent to shop and sightsee? Or...
Oh yeah, there's plenty to do in there.
My intention is to go to the temple.
Oh, then you'll need to get through 2 gates.
To what end, Rose? Curiosity.
Yes? Also,
I
there
have
may
some
be
questions
something
I want to ask.
there may be something we could learn.
Perhaps.
We need money. How do we earn money? Because
I don't need money.
I don't need money.
oh, we don't.
I definitely don't need money
I-
either.
I thought Adeline needed money.
Adeline might need money. I don't need money.
How much would it cost to enchant all of these?
That was my next question. We might need money if that costs this much.
I only asked because Adeline's writing a letter and it's 10 gold.
Good point.
Does she get to keep that piece of paper and reuse it?
Well, if she never wants to send it, then I suppose.
Oh, I thought it just. Never mind. I don't understand how it works.
Oh, could it be sent back to me?
No.
Oh, great! It's for penmanship.
Very dramatic writing.
Somehow.
Well, if you need some money, Herb, were you thinking what I'm thinking? And Herb looks up and says, I hasten to admit that I think so. I told you all before that I dealt in furs.
Yes?
Well, if you were to obtain some dire wolf furs for me.
I bet, isn't that outlawed?
I would assume that's not okay.
Well, what they don't know don't hurt them.
I think when
And
we
what they
arrive
do-
with the furs, they would know.
It's
What?
called procuring.
Who's buying these furs?
People
Within-
that aren't here. People
Ah.
that I was trying to get to.
I see.
So we wouldn't have to bring them into town. You
Well,
know,
yes, you would.
Well, I don't think I could do it.
Well,
I
I don't
feel-
think you should just drag them in.
But no, here's the thing. I think this would go against our worthiness. Right now, we're worthy.
We're worthy.
Yeah. We had to be worthy to get across the bridge, and I don't want to become unworthy. And I feel like if I killed a dire wolf or helped procure skin inside of this here area, that I would kind of lose my worthiness. I don't want to lose my worthiness.
So, I've never seen a dire wolf in person before. I've only heard about them.
Aye.
How are there lots of dire wolves in the surrounding area?
Aye. If you go further into the forest, there's a pack of them that.
It's where they leave their dead.
Right. Well, I heard wolves before, but not dire wolves.
Dire wolves are like, I haven't seen one personally either, but I hear they're about as big as a horse. And people can ride them.
Just to be clear,
I don't know if that's true though.
so what we're discussing is we would go out to the woods, kill some dire wolves to bring their pelts in order to get necklaces to allow us into a temple where
No.
we don't even know what we'll discover for curiosity. I mean, is that the price you're willing to pay for satiate that? I thought we were just stopping over. We are on our way to the institute, are we not?
What is your price for the necklaces without the wolf pelts?
Oh, without the wolf pelts? Hmm. How many? Is it for all of you, or is it just a couple?
I mean, preferably it would be all 6.
All 6. Oh, and he looks at Herb, and Herb kind of goes,
Oh,
Right.
They're doing the thing. That's not good.
Yes.
and he starts writing down on a piece of paper like
That's
what
even
looks
worse.
like basic math.
When they do the, it's a lot of money.
I would do my best to follow what he's writing.
It's just seems like a string of numbers with a line underneath it and then more numbers. They don't actually correlate to one another.
Okay.
Your intelligence is high enough that you'd be able to read that. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make you roll. Ooh, I would say probably 60 gold pieces
Oh, really?
So 10 gold apiece.
for a temporary
How long?
illusionary enchantment.
How long?
How long?
Yes.
8 hours. Ish, give or take. It's hard to tell sometimes. Especially when you're doing cheap work.
You know, considering our last business endeavors have caused us to be used, as Lost has stated, I feel that we can up the ante on the direwolves as well. I mean, it's not like you can just ask anyone in town. So, if you want us to do it, it's going to cost you a bit. More than just amulets, that is.
No, I didn't say that it would just be for the necklaces. You said you wanted money.
How much money?
let's say, for what I can sell them for, 100 gold pieces per pelt, intact.
Well, that's
I
not
don't-
going to buy a whole lot of worthiness.
I don't think that's worth it.
I don't think any of this is worth it. For the record.
And Midas turns to Herb and says, "But Herb, we're inside, and they're saying that we're not worthy because we do this."
No, I'm saying if I was to try to do this and become unworthy, I would need a lot more money to be able. I was just trying to make a play on words. Like if you would have said something like 1,000 gold pieces per pelt, I'd say, well, now that can buy a lot of worthiness. But you didn't say that, so I said that won't buy very much worthiness.
For the record, I'm not going to assist anyone in killing the wolves. So, there's that.
I mean,
Why
there's
did-
plenty of them.
That's fine.
I mean, the
But
only
these
way.
people, that's a part of these people's religion. I'm not in the business of killing them.
Look, I have no affection for this, frankly, backwards, no offense, town. It
And
frowns
taken.
upon magic. And I'm curious. I'm not certain what our goal is here beyond.
Our goal is to get to the temple because we want to further our religious knowledge.
To further your religious knowledge, you can read a book.
Do they
Not
just
about
turn
them.
us away? Turn faith holders away? How do you establish a religion if you aren't willing to let anyone learn about it? I mean, not asking you, Midas and Herb, specifically, just your city in general.
And considering how they frown upon those who would deconvert, as we have heard, what do you think that they'll do once they present you with this information and you choose not to subscribe to their religion? I mean,
Someone
As-
that reads and acquires knowledge freely, you're really pushing back on us trying to get some information on a town we don't know anything about.
yes, but I can go on without knowing anything about this town and live my life happily. I don't see the point.
Because we want to. That's the point.
Lots
You
of us
know-
would go kill wolves just to be able to take it to the man.
You know,
Lift the wolf pelts into the city. It sounds fun.
yeah. So, yeah. Oh, okay, Lost. But, Adeline, so you lived your entire life behind some walls in the institute, right?
Yes.
But until just recently, and you've only come out in like, you've only been outside those walls less than a month your entire life, right?
I feel like you're calling me naive in a
No,
way.
not at all.
It's a
I'm
Greek
not
myth.
definitely not calling you naive. I'm pretty naive, and I'm not calling you naive.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand your lack of curiosity for the world because I want to learn all I can about everything around me because I grew up in a pretty small area with not a lot of exposure to everything except for my own little circle where I grew up, and then I got to go and travel and do some things, and it was an eye-opening experience, and it was pretty amazing. And I want to learn about all the different cultures. I don't want to go killing wolves in order to do that. I
Right,
thought
right.
we would be able to pay our respects to the people here, and they would accept that. I don't know why they want to like hide behind a wall.
To be fair, we don't know.
We don't know
We're just
anything.
taking the word of these two people we just met. We don't know if they'll let us sit and answer questions.
Right. And And I have curiosity of the world. I have less curiosity and I'll call it patience for people who frown upon an entire area of learning, who frown upon magical abilities for the sake of their religious zealotry. I don't understand why we're trying to delve deeper here when I feel like it's pretty much on the surface, and we have to either deceive our way in or kill their sacred.
I think that we're why don't we try to just go and ask if we can go to the temple?
Right.
That
No
was
one-
my original plan,
And
I was
we're-
creating a backup.
Sure,
That's
I want to go up there because there are things that I want answers to for my own personal reasoning, but just because these people choose to disregard arcane magic because of their religious beliefs doesn't mean that they're bad.
It might not.
It does not mean that they're bad. They're a culture, they're different.
I am curious. If I took the wolf mother's head with my blade,
No.
Shut your
No.
mouth.
blade control?
No. These are a powerful people. And I believe in making allies with people who are very powerful. You never know when we might need to call upon a whole group of wolf people.
Just to iron that out, they're not wolf people. They're
They're
just
stories.
people that worship a wolf beast deity.
But you did say that there was some that they had
Some.
this lycanthropy thing going on.
That turn to wolves.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say they were of the lichen.
They were imbued with the spirit of a wolf.
Right.
The ferocity and the
Oh, is that different?
The Ulf Hednar.
They don't turn into wolves physically.
No, they're said to when they do their covert maneuvers.
I should remember that you all have helped me in a great way in my own tasks, and so if this is one that you deem worthy, then I am with you. I question the intent. But, perhaps that is to be found once we find our way there. I, however, would not like to go out in the forest and slay a bunch of sacred dire beasts.
That's not
I'm
happening.
not going to do that.
We would
I
never.
I don't think any of us would have agreed to do that. Well,
Lost
I mean,
would've.
Lost would have done it.
100% for the right
Yeah.
price.
I think he probably would have done it for free, but we're not going to do it at all.
Well, Kaya, you did say that if the price were 1,000.
I was trying to make a joke and trying to be like I was trying to sound witty,
Ah.
but yeah. Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
It's all about timing.
Yep.
Well, are you done with your letter?
Yes,
Adeline.
I am. Let me. She signs her name.
Man.
Are you writing with a wand? Anyway.
But yes, I have it here.
Oh, you're done. Okay. Well, do you have the recipient?
Yes, my father, Marcel Beaumont.
Marcel Beaumont. Okay. Put the letter down on my
alright.
desk
All
in
right.
front of me.
Okay. And she places it down a little trepidatiously, but there's no sensitive information in it.
Before you can let go, he slams his hand down onto the letter and it pulls out from between your fingers. He pulls it towards him and he releases his hand
and the paper starts folding itself over and turns and starts folding. Small triangular corners and areas start protruding, and it looks like a paper crane. And he looks down and says, well, off you go then. And it takes flight, and he walks over to a window and pulls down what is like grabs on to some sort of handle that you can't quite see, and as he pulls down, that murky exterior shutter comes down, and it's a wide open window, and the bird flies out, and he resets it.
Midas, you are remarkable.
Oh, stop. Well, I mean, you can keep going. I won't tell you to stop again.
That was fascinating. I'd be interested to learn this magic.
Well, I've got various different pieces of enchanted things for sale if you wanted to buy.
Like what?
What sort of things are you looking for? And he starts kind of pacing around, looking in various places. Are you looking for, what about this? And he pulls out what looks like like two rings with a flat top to it, almost like a knuckle duster, but just for two fingers. And he said, what about this? This look nice? It's nice, it's gold. And he puts it next to his teeth. See?
Lovely. What does it do?
Ooh, see this? You can store 2 different spells in it and release them at will. Not that Will is a person, but it doesn't have to be a person named Will. You can just do it when you want.
At the same time? Both spells?
No, it does take a moment to release one spell and then probably another moment to release the other. But you can keep them in there.
That's neat.
That's helpful.
It's a ring of spell storing, and you don't have to be magically adept in order to cast the spells.
Oh!
And you can just store any spell in there? Have you already stored one in?
No, this one's empty.
So you're saying someone could store spells in them and then to bestow it upon another individual who could use them? Is that?
Yes, you can store spells in it. The ring of spell storing. You can store spells in the ring of spell storing, and then give the ring to someone else who can then just release them, because they don't actually cast a spell. They're just releasing what's in it.
Losteroth starts sharpening his blades. He's like, it sounds like we're going to be hunting some direwolves.
No.
Well, if we don't have the money to buy amulets, how the hell are we going to buy magic items?
We have some money. Well, I mean, I don't carry it. Remember,
We have money.
Our money. Rose
I do.
carries our money.
What's your budget? This one starts at 25,000 gold pieces.
Nope, we don't have that much.
Have you any spell scrolls?
If I could vomit, I would.
25,000 gold? Why would you start with something like that? Is there something less?
Well, you go in high and then see how far you can go down. You're not in sales, are you?
I mean, how about 20 gold? Hey, Rose, can I borrow a gold? I only have 19. So 20 gold.
Sure.
How many
20
direwolves
gold.
do we have to kill for it?
Maybe we do need money.
Have you actually sold anything here for those high prices?
I don't think he has.
surprised what goes on the black market.
For a place where arcane items are so rare.
And my prices are fair.
I'm not challenging the price. I just want to know who are your general clientele.
Well, I do tend to enchant things for the Night Thorn directly.
The who?
The Night Thorn?
Like,
The Night Thorn?
Yes.
Who's the Night Thorn?
Who are the Night Thorn?
Is that the knight minus the armor?
They're the ones that make sure that we can still take care of things of the arcane nature.
Do you have like an underground group?
Well, I mean, they're not underground. They meet at Hisrix, and Herb goes, "Shut up!"
Does the guards and everyone of the inner circles know about this?
Midas, don't say another word about the Noithorn. They're friends of mine, but they're not that close. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry," as he's like rubbing his knee. I'm sorry, Herb.
Okay. We don't want to cause any problems for you. But it seems like you're dealing a little unfairly with us.
How am I being unfair?
No, you're fine. I would like to hear some more about the Night Thorn. What is their purpose? Just to make sure that you can still deal in arcane?
And Herb steps in and goes, "Ah!" The Nightthorn are a group that ensures that we can still practice.
All right.
They protect you from discovery.
You've got it.
How many people are there in the Night Thorn group?
I'm not sure many people know.
They do bad things?
I mean, I think every human does bad things.
bad seems relative.
Like, are they the kind of people that we would want to associate with?
Well, that's kind of up
Excluding
for
law.
interpretation.
Excluding Lost. I don't think Lost has an issue with associating with anyone. Have you
Herb,
ever-
is aside from present party here, is there another way for us to get to the temple that you're not telling us?
Well, I think you could have been onto something with the monks, but I've not got much experience with that, so you'd be on your own with that.
Okay. So the Nightthorn wouldn't be able to.
I mean, I'm not in the business of just introducing the Nightthorn to people I just met.
That's all right. They meet at Hisrix, and that's where we're staying. So perhaps we'll find them on our own.
But Herb, you're part of the Army of Fate now, so we're all in this together.
That's true.
Right, but as I swore that I would go on with my life just as it was before.
Is part of that also swearing to loyalty to this Nightthorn? More than us?
I don't really swear loyalty.
So there's no
earned.
reason you couldn't tell us more. Unless you just don't want to.
Bingo!
And why is that?
Because they're a secretive society.
I mean, it's not very secret if lots of people know about them.
A select people know about them.
Well, we're selected now because we know about them.
And we're worthy.
Look, we're not trying to learn all there is about this Nightthorn thing, but if they have something that can help us get to the temple, a lot easier besides going against all of these other things, then they will definitely be put up for consideration, with or without your help.
I imagine that you'd have to bring something of worth to them, something that they'd want.
Like
Memory
a lantern
lane.
of revealing.
I mean, Midas made that for me. They could have them make another one.
Okay. It just seemed like it would be something that was very valuable.
Also, re-gifting.
Yes. Did you not do the same?
Right in front of me.
And did you not do the same?
Not really. I paid for that.
Well, you paid 25,000 gold for this?
For the lantern? No.
How much did you pay for it?
20.
Oh,
Mates rates and all that.
Midas, why don't you show us things that are in the lantern's price range?
right.
Yes.
I offered 20 gold.
Oh, hold on a sec. I'll see what I got in the back. And he starts. The back just includes moving to a slightly further back set of drawers that he starts rifling through.
It's not even like changing position.
No, he just turns like to the left. And he pulls out another ring. This here keeps you warm. It's called a ring of warmth.
For 20 gold?
Sure.
Okay, I want it.
Okay. And he just flicks it to you like a coin.
Can I have a gold?
Yes.
Here's my 20
Mom,
gold.
can I have the gold, please? I found this thing that I really want to buy.
It's burning a hole in his pocket.
Yep.
I want a magical item, DM.
He is cold-blooded.
I was about to say he's probably, needs something to keep him warm, being a reptile.
It's always weird when he has to like get on top of the cart and like bask for like an hour while we're driving around.
Yeah.
Especially if you ever laid
Especially
an
while
egg,
driving.
you'll need to keep it warm.
It's just
My
a hot
God.
stone on top.
Have you any spell scrolls? Anything of that nature?
Not really scrolls, because I deal mainly with enchantments and putting magic in things. I've got this. And he pulls out a short piece of rope. And he goes,
What does
Huh?
that do?
He holds one end and starts pulling more and more rope out of the end until it's about 30 feet of rope. And then he pulls it up and says, tie, and throws it towards one of the rafters, and it wraps around and then ties itself in a knot.
Oh,
That's useful.
Yeah, he pulls on it. See, rope of climbing.
fascinating.
Yes, indeed. Well, not really, because I put the magic in there. I'm not really fascinated by it.
That would have been really useful in the sewer.
Midas, could you enchant items we already possess if you don't have to change how it looks or anything like that?
Depends what you want, and you know.
Take for instance, Miss Beaumont. Can I see your quill real quick?
Oh, I suppose, yes.
This is a feathered quill. Could you enchant something like this?
I mean, I can pretty much enchant anything. Depends what you wanted to do.
Something simple, like when she writes, no one can really know what she wrote unless she wants them to.
Oh. Handy.
Ooh. That is fancy. Can I see?
Miss Beaumont?
Sure. Yes.
Hands are up.
Oh god, your hands are really crazy, aren't they? Okay.
And he like he like rushes his hands towards it, but then as he grasps it, it's very ginger, and he pulls it back and like lays it across the desk and starts he picks up two small like wooden rods and starts moving it back and forth, paying close attention to it. So you want to make like a hidden message that reappears when you want it to?
Or when she writes with it, yes. And if it didn't require ink, I mean, it could get a bit messy on the road.
Yes, my inkwell has been running low. I do worry about it staining my blouses.
Right, yes. Yeah, they're not really for writing on the road, these things.
No, well, I'm not usually on the road.
I mean, this is very similar to... Yeah, I suppose I could. Might take me a couple of days to put it in there.
And how much?
I don't know if I've seen Adeline go days without writing.
Yes, it will be a bit nerve-wracking not to be able to take notes. Oh god. Do you have like a spare one that I can like borrow in the meantime maybe? Like just what if I find out something important that I need to write down in my book and I can't write it down in my book?
I'm sure we could get you a pen.
Got something for that. And he pulls out a small black stick that has a point to the end of it. And he says, oh wait, hold on, it's blunt. And he takes a knife and just... As he hands it to you, his hands are just black
Is
from
that
holding
graphite?
it.
Thank you. And she like takes out a handkerchief and like wraps it delicately in it before she like puts it in her bag so it doesn't get her stuff dirty.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about wrapping it up. No, it's not graphite, it's charcoal.
Oh, thank you.
Makes
Well,
nice pictures, you can smudge it with your thumb.
Literally writing in crayon right now.
I love to smudge things. So as far as the quill, what will that cost for this genius enchantment that Rawls has?
I would say probably somewhere in the region of, let's see, for friends and family rates, 150 gold.
Okay, that sounds great. And she turns to Rawls. She's like, I don't have that kind of money. What are you thinking?
20 gold.
No.
20 gold.
Adeline, you have to not show your expressions right away. Now, in exchange, Midas, is there something we can do for you that doesn't require killing things
Oh,
in exchange for the enchantment?
What are you talking about? That's the only thing I'm good at.
You're good at other things, Lost. Don't set
Oh, I
yourself.
know.
Good at driving the carriage.
Adeline knows.
No, I don't. No, I do not.
And you see him say, "What? Let me think for a second." And his
Perhaps-
eyes kind of like glaze over.
Perhaps I could return the favor with some kind of magical ability. I'm quite keen at reading obscure languages or identifying items or that kind of thing.
I've got it.
Okay.
You see, I owe a favor to Arthur of the Nightthorn, and Herb says, "Will you stop it? He says, but I really want the favor repaid so I don't have to worry about it. You know how I feel about debt.
This might be something we could do.
What is this that you owe?
A favor.
Oh, have you any idea what they want?
Well, yeah, because they're not really they're not really part of the whole religion thing for Vargrden, and so that what they really like is having information.
Okay.
So the thing is, the weird thing is that when the chieftain was taken out to go and help the people on where are they from again? He says, Fengard, the village on the outside. He said, "Oh yeah, Fengard." Yeah. So when he went out there, and then they were talking about curses and all that, and it was such a kerfuffle when they were bringing him back in about curses and things, and they just dragged him straight to the center, no like pomp and circumstance like usual, and no one's seen him since.
Oh. So he wants information related to this individual.
Yeah, Chief Magnus.
Chief Magnus. Just his state, his whereabouts?
Yeah,
We
More or
met him,
less.
didn't we?
probably something about the curse that was mentioned as well.
Interesting. Well, we will have to find our way to the temple in order to do this.
Oh yeah. Seems we're back to square one, really.
But we do have something that could be mutually beneficial here, now.
I suppose. I guess if you were to go and get those amulets, I could enchant them if you're gonna go and do Arthur a favor and get him off my back.
Right. Oh, and how terrible to be in someone's debt. Ugh, wouldn't that be such a weight off your shoulders that we...
I know it's only been a week and I already feel the weight of it.
Ugh, dreadful, isn't it?
Lost, how long has it been for you? Have this hanging over your shoulders. You know how it feels.
It's been about 2 weeks. I feel this weight.
And it
just
gets
keeps
heavier.
growing.
It would seem that our fate was always tied to the temple.
You know what, though? I think Lost would hang out with us even if he didn't owe the favor. Our friend, he's really in the army.
Yes.
Well, it's settled. Right?
Right, so we will get these amulets. We will leave the quill with you. And return to get these enchanted at a favorable discount, considering we are going in your benefit. You...
Oh yeah, sure, you go and I'll do the quill thing for you.
Right, yeah, no, that is that exchange there, so we still... Alright, well,
Yeah, no, debt weighs heavy on my shoulders, so I'll do the enchantment. Doesn't take very long.
What
So
do we need?
So we just need 6 big total.
Yeah, you just get them. They need to be about this big, and I guess, yeah, like a circle would be good. That'd be fine. In fact, if you make him a little bit smaller, so that when I do the enchantment, like the details of the wolf can go over the edge of the medallion, that'd probably be best, wouldn't it?
perfect.
What if we asked him to make it in that shape?
I don't think we want to be connected to making wolf-shaped items.
Yes, won't that
Oh,
be-
that's right. That's otherwise we wouldn't need him to enchant. Yeah, I see now.
All right. Well, this seems like it could be an amicable trade now.
Thank you for my ring.
You're welcome. Thank you for me gold.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
That's all I
much.
had.
And I appreciate you sending that letter.
Oh yeah,
Much
it can only go to the recipient.
Fantastic. When should he receive it?
Well, it doesn't get tired very much because he's made of paper and magic. So, I mean, when he's going that sort of distance, maybe a couple of days.
All right. Fantastic. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Priority Express. Wonderful.
Yes. Right. Wonderful. Is our business concluded here?
I don't know. Do you want a rope?
No.
No, I'm not much for climbing. Delicate hands.
Oh,
How
that's a
much?
shame.
Is it?
I mean, I've got this as well. This is 50. This is pretty cool. He pulls out a vial of what looks like thick black liquid that kind of as he shakes it, it leaves like a black mark as it slides back down on the inside of the flask, or the vial rather. This is slippery oil. But it's not just slippery oil, it's like magically slippery.
Fascinating.
It's based on some weird fae things that I've seen. And what you do is you put it on, it takes about 10 minutes to kind of grease yourself up. And nobody can catch you. You just squeak right out as they try to grab you.
Oh.
You know where I'm from? There's a competition every year where we all put this oil all over our bodies and we get into this big pit and we have this. It's like a wrestling contest and so we're all really slick and we're all trying to tackle each other and and we just slip out of each other's arms and the last person standing wins. And I won that one year when I was a kid.
Fascinating. Tell me more.
No.
So-
don't tell them.
No,
So
we're good.
No.
sometimes we do it.
Oh god.
Wait, what?
Hiya, you know I can have images of gemstone dragonborn, just all slippery and things in my mind.
This is very fascinating. So you're trying to get into each other's embrace, but you can't.
Well, we
so it's
try.
like some kind of dance of forbidden love.
I mean, it's more like a sport competition.
Okay, tell yourself that.
Hey, dancing is a legitimate sport.
Well, I mean, there's usually like 20 to 30 of us. It's yeah, we're all. It's like a big like free for all.
Adelina's beet red.
These
Just
Y'all-
these
I don't think y'all are
massive
understanding.
draconian bodies trying to squeeze each other.
I don't think y'all are understanding what I'm talking about.
It sounds beautiful.
Well, there's like referees, if things like that, and if you do an illegal takedown, then it doesn't count, and you get disqualified.
country folk, wrestling gators.
gators. We're dragonborn.
Whoa.
Awkward.
The worst part is
Anyway.
I don't even know how we got here. Oh yeah, the slippery line.
So you
So
know
do
what?
you want it?
If I would have had that, I probably would have won every year. But I feel like that's cheating. But this isn't cheating if we're not using it in that competition.
Well, you may have won it 1 year, but then it'd all be gone.
True. So you can only use this once?
Yeah, but it lasts 8 hours. Especially
I
if
mean,
you're
I
using
don't.
it all over your body, you could throw it on the floor as well, and then it's really slippery.
I don't need it. Thank you.
No, you're slippery enough.
How much is it?
And he opens his drawer, and it clatters, and says, "Yeah, quarter 25 gold."
Wait, what did you say?
Call it 25 gold.
I thought you said a quarter of 25 gold, and I was like, why are you doing math like that?
I want you to earn it. Now, it's just 25. I've got lots of them. 25 each. You can buy multiple.
I don't know if I would need that.
I certainly don't want to get greasy at any point, as enticing as Kaya made it sound.
Well, I mean, if you want, I could show you some moves.
No, 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 that's okay.
What did Lost teach you those kind of moves?
Oh, she's gonna just
I
like
didn't see that.
huff off.
I didn't. What did I say wrong?
Midas, I think we're good for today. We will be back for the quill and with our
How much is the rope? Just curious.
Oh.
The
Just
rope,
curious what the price is.
30 gold pieces.
For a climbing rope.
you retrieve it. Like
Yep.
it does get untied and you can keep it.
Untie. And it falls into a pile. And then he picks up the one end and starts stuffing it inside, going,
That-
and then he pulls it out, and it's just a short piece of rope.
That is somewhat handy.
I agree.
Does it only go 30 feet?
Yeah, it extends to 30 feet.
Still handy.
How much was the rope?
30.
I made it one time for a kids' magic show. I haven't used it since. So it's just taking up room. Only occasionally, though, as he starts unwinding it again.
I'll
Oh,
buy
can you do it like it's coming out of your mouth?
Hold on.
I love it! Oh, what a jest!
I'll buy the rope.
Roz can do that with his silks.
But then he'd be naked.
I'm learning entirely too much about all of you tonight.
I put down 30 gold and I take the rope.
Sold!
How much gold do we have?
And he says, tie! And it launches at your midsection, wraps around it.
Me?
Yep.
Pretty cool.
We like to have
Untie.
fun here.
I said untie.
And it
Okay. And I pick it up. 318, Lily.
So, no oil of slipperiness. No ring of spell storing.
No.
I've
Maybe if it's like ever on
Layaway.
90% discount or something?
I'll keep a note. He starts scrawling a note down, and he just sticks it to the ring. Yeah, so don't forget,
Right.
forget a lot of things.
Maybe if there's like an afterpay option, we take the item now, and every
And
2 weeks we'll send you some gold.
Oh yeah, you could call it something like Arclana.
Yeah. Do you
Oh
have
my
that?
God.
I mean, no, but it's a wonderful business idea.
It is because we get the item now.
Exactly, and so your demands are met, but then you pay it off in maybe bi-weekly installments.
Yeah. So maybe we can set something like that up sometime.
I mean, I'll have to do more math.
I mean, there's not
He looks
really
down to the
much.
sheet of random numbers.
Just write random numbers like all over the page. They have no rhyme or reason.
There's just
Yes.
random numbers with like different mathematical symbols next to them with lines with numbers underneath them that they don't marry in any way.
Well, I guess we're off to the blacksmith. Is that what you said, or the ironsmith, or something to that effect?
The blackened iron.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
And she'll like kind of curtsy and then walk away, like real awkwardly.
Bye now.
We leave.
And you guys walk through the darkness out through the other side, where you find the door. There's like a very brief moment between the sort of ring of darkness that swallows the inner section of the door and the door itself. And so as you kind of carefully walk through, your face emerges through the darkness and you see the door open it and are able to walk through the illusionary boards. You are now back on the street of the first circle in Vargrden.
Do we know where we're going?
We still have Herb.
Yes, Herb emerges a couple of moments
Oh, I didn't know he was
afterwards.
coming with us.
So,
How do we get to this blacksmith person?
yes, we can go to the Blackened Iron.
Thank you.
Herb,
Are
are
you-
you all right? I mean, we're not keeping you from things.
No. I mean, if nothing else, I'm keeping an eye on you right now. What with all the information that you weren't meant to have.
Oh,
We're worthy. So we're trustworthy too.
Good. Then we shouldn't have any problems. Just wouldn't want you saying the wrong thing to the wrong person.
us? Say the wrong thing?
Huh.
Never.
You know, some people have told me I do that sometimes, but I don't do it on purpose. I'm just a little too honest, I guess.
Right, that's what I'm worried about.
But I won't say anything about the thorn people. You called them.
The Night Thorn.
Ah,
Again,
yeah.
they're not thorn people.
What a wildly
it's-
uncomfortable thing to be.
It's more of a moniker for the group of people.
Kind of like the army of fate.
Sure, why not?
I mostly talk to dead people, so
And me.
Are you a dead person?
no.
I
That's
think
a
he was
very
talking to me.
absurd thing to say.
Oh, he was asking Rose, but that's awful suspicious.
I think Lily would know if Rose was dead or not.
True.
Absurd.
You can all see her, right?
Yes.
No.
Then
See
yeah.
who?
Oh no, where have you gone, Rose?
She gave me a gold piece while ago. Of course I could see her.
I wish I had.
Were we
I mean,
gonna
that
try
would
to
be
play
a
a trick
very
on Lily?
lucrative ask if you could just ask for gold and it manifests.
Ah.
Where are we going?
Black and
The
Dahlia.
blackened iron.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, we should go then and stop talking about, you know, whether or not Lily or Rose and I are dead. We most definitely are not.
Well, this seems like a subject that is quite hastily trying to be avoided, which has piqued my interest.
I'm just a normal girl. There's nothing interesting about me.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
I mean,
Well, you're
to be
very
fair, we were
interesting.
just talking about eggs.
Mm.
I was not talking about eggs.
Aren't we all always talking about eggs in a way? No, that one doesn't work. Let's go.
And so, Herb starts to lead you further around. You guys start to pass the small monastery to your left as you arc around and you see the next gate.
Do we see any of the monks going through the gate?
Make a perception check.
And I would like to, as we're passing the monastery, like take a really good look at the monk, like hoda tip, their outfit, what they have on, just like memorize as many details as possible.
Okay. It's literally like, Friar Tuck from
Yeah.
the animated Robin Hood series, like that sort of brown all over robe with like a piece of rope tying it around the middle. That's what it is.
Right. I'm like facial everything for me to just.
Oh, like
pop
them
away.
physically as well, not just what they're wearing. Okay.
They're Dragonborn, right?
There's what?
When we walked by earlier, did you say they were Dragonborn, but they were
Lizard
like
folk.
Lizard folk.
Oh,
and
okay.
orc.
Seems that way. Yeah.
Definitely egg hatch.
I rolled a 26.
26 for monks traveling through. Not at this moment. At least you can't tell whether it's like an impossibility, but for right now there are no monks traveling through. There's still the two that you can see are still out kind of tending to the gardens.
Okay.
And then Adeline, make a perception check. See how much detail you can.
Ooh, 19.
19? Okay. Yeah, you feel pretty damn confident that you have a good mental image of what these two look like.
Fantastic. For no reason at all.
And so you pass past the first gate. Second gate, sorry. To the second circle. What is almost like it's made of, it's almost like the wall extends again with like high tree trunks that kind of pull up to gradiating up to a peak that is split down the middle, and there are two doors that open inwards.
Are they
On
always
either side is a watchtower, but you can see shadows moving around up in there.
But the doors stay shut.
The doors are shut.
Herb, are these doors always shut?
Well, unless anybody's going through them, yes. But Blackened Iron's not far up here,
Thank you.
of course. And leads you on up to where, as you start approaching what is like, it's an open smith. So it's out into the street. It's basically just like almost like a shelter that's kept out there, so that the heat is kind of dispersed a little bit. And you see this large, muscled back of this squat fellow, and a large ting, 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 as he starts slamming into what looks like what would be a long sword with his hammer, as he picks it up and starts to temper the steel. And as he pulls it up and turns around, he has these dark goggles that are just about the size of his eyes, very, very small, completely blackened in the front, but like copper around the outside. He looks up and says, "Ha! Herb, you bastard!" And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Oh.
I'm gonna go 3 episodes with no spells.
You
Long
don't
rest.
need them.
Long rests don't exist in Gahlia.
Wow. All right.
Not anymore,
guys-
they don't.
Dude, you guys want to do so much during
I
your day.
know.
You
I
don't ever
know.
just say, "Hey, no, we're just gonna hang out and then rest."
I know.
You guys
I
are
tried
always
to
doing
once,
things.
but we had just long rested.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
This
god.
So-
is true.
Don't blame it on me.
I didn't.
Blame it on your itinerary.
I didn't blame it on anyone. I'm
We
telling
have
everybody.
so much
they
to
just
pack
don't
into
exist.
today.
The days are so long here. No
So-
daylight savings.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. This was much needed after this stressful week. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the hype train. That was rad. I did see that. As always, we appreciate everyone's support, everyone in the chat, everyone watching. I know that we have several people that are waiting for us to kind of do our talk show that we've had in the works for a little while. That will be coming up. Life just has to slow down ever so slightly. Maybe I can do single-digit hour work days before we start doing that. But yes, it is on the way, and we're excited to bring it to you as well. I don't think I have anything else. If you're not already following us, please do click the follow button. It is a very, very small action, but it helps us out a lot as a brand new channel. I'm not sure I have anything else to say. Diane, did you have anything? Oh, Legends on Monday, right?
Yeah, Legends on Monday. I'm just trying to look for someone for us to raid. But yeah, Legends on Monday. That's all I got.
Okay. Ladies of D&D are on right now. I'm looking
welcome
I
through.
in.
think I was gonna choose Long Lost Lore. They're only about just over an hour into their
Oh, sweet. Yeah, let's jump in there.
game.
Awesome.
Looks like they're playing some RPG horror related, which looks cool.
To you? What?
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go drop some raid emotes in their chat. Throw up some flexing arms. Let's go. Legends on Monday. Thank you for starting your weekend off the right way with Fables. And we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
weekend.